Most people would think these two magazines probably oppose each other when, in reality, to know the story of God, one should learn the history of astrology. From a biblical perspective, we start in the age of Gemini, the twins. An astrological age lasts approximately 2,160 years. And all that means is that the sun will appear to rise in a particular zodiac sign on the vernal equinox every year before it's bumped down by the next sign due to the precession of the equinoxes. So if you've read the first book of the Bible, which is Genesis, you might think the Bible is a book about twins. We read about characters like Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau, Perez and Zerah, or Noah gets two of every animal on board his ark. Hopefully, you didn't pick up the Bible just for twin stories because they come to a screeching halt after Genesis. That's because we have entered into a new age, and that age is Taurus, the bull. So now we're worshiping and sacrificing bulls in Exodus, and everyone's getting familiar with this custom when all of a sudden Moses comes down from Mount Sinai with a new covenant from God on how we are to worship him. Meanwhile, Moses' brother Aaron has just led the Israelites in building and worshiping a golden calf, which is, of course, a bull. And Moses says, I don't think so. We're done worshiping the bulls. And he chucks those tablets down on the ground and he blows the horn. And what horn does he blow? It's the ram's horn. So now that we're in the age of Aries, we're sacrificing rams. We're smearing lamb's blood all over the door for Passover and blowing that ram's horn. And it's during this age that Moses is the poster boy for Aries, which is why he is typically depicted with horns. That is, until those Christians come along with their new age movement and with their ichthys. And ichthys it's a Greek word. It's a Greek word for Pisces. It's the two fish, which is the age we find ourselves in today. And we see this in the oldest known Christian church in the world, where the Megiddo mosaic was found by archaeologists in 2005. So Jesus is born. The age of Pisces begins, the calendar gets a reset, and now we are fishers of men. We're eating fish and we're going fishing with our 12 friends. But as I mentioned, ages only last about 2,160 years. So this age is about to come to a close. In about 130 to 200 years, Jesus will get replaced just like Moses did. And how do I know that? Well, because Jesus tells us in Matthew 28:20, I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Guess what Jesus tells us in Luke 22:10? His disciples are asking how they're supposed to prepare for Passover, and he says, when you're entered into the city, there shall a man meet you bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he entereth in. If you know anything about customs from 2,000 years ago in the Middle East, men did not carry water. That was strictly a woman's job. So that man carrying the jar of water is Aquarius, and that is the next house we will enter.